On this video, we're going to check out a couple of ways that autistic people identify themselves with the world around us and ways that we can bring light to the challenges that we can face in the broader community. So get out your sunflower wristband and let's do this. Hey, I'm Orion Kelly, that autistic guy. Yes, I'm autistic. I try to devote my time to advocating for the autistic community. Now, I do that in a few ways. I do podcasts, blogs, and these YouTube videos with the goal in mind of raising the level of understanding and acceptance of autistic people. So, if that's something you'd be interested in, I'd be absolutely delighted if you would consider subscribing to my YouTube channel by clicking that subscribe button and ringing the notifications bell. You're not only never missing any more videos that I put out, but you're helping me reach more people and hopefully improve the lives of autistic people right across the planet. You can also reach out to me on my socials. Yep. I'm out there. Find the Orion Kelly page on Facebook and give me a follow. That'd be amazing. You can also follow me on Twitter. Yes, I tweet. And if Instagram's more your thing, well, check me out on Insta as well. Plus, you'll find me on TikTok and everything that I do on my website. So check out my website, orionkelly.com.au. Your one-stop shop. You'll find all my podcasts, all my blogs, all my videos, details about me. You can get in touch and say, hey, go to my website. It'd be great to hear from you. All right, so let's talk about different ways autistic people can identify themselves to the outside world. Now, what I mean by that is this idea that being autistic can sometimes come across like an invisible or a hidden disability, and therefore bringing about to the outside world that you do have challenges can be tricky. So we've come up with different ways to identify ourselves as autistic people, ways that we can show the broader community, hi, you might not realize it, but I'm autistic. I have some challenges in the outside world, and hopefully you can acknowledge that and you can help me through them. Now let's start off by talking about the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. You can see I've got my sunflower wristband on, but there's also a lanyard. So let's talk about that. So you've seen me flash my sunflower wristband. There's also kids size wristband. So there's a little sunflower wristband that I got for my 7-year-old autistic son, so no worries. But let's go back to the start. So the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Lanyard Scheme came about in 2016. An airport in London devised an idea of helping people with autism and other hidden disabilities navigate their way through the stressful environment of an airport. What an unbelievably brilliant idea. Okay, so they did a thing called a sunflower lanyard. Okay, and this is it here. So you can see that it obviously has the bright green lanyard and it's got sunflowers on it, and then there's a little ID card. Now the idea was that people with hidden disabilities, and even more effective for autistic kids, is parents, mums, dads of autistic kids wore the lanyard while in the airport. Now, of course, the airport employees of that particular airport were trained and educated in how to assist people with hidden disabilities, like autistic people, through the airport environment. So something so bright and easy to see and identify triggered in the workers at the airport to go, oh, okay, I'll make sure I assist this particular family in a different way because they have a child who is autistic or has a hidden disability. So it's a brilliant idea. And really, prior to the worldwide pandemic, an absolute game changer in traveling, because if you have an autistic child or you're autistic yourself, you know how stressful traveling can be, and airports can be the worst. So the idea that the assistance and the awareness and the understanding was there was just invaluable. It was initiated in other airports, even some here in Australia, and then it just grew to be involved more broadly in the community. In essence, the wristbands, or the lanyards you wear around your neck with the ID card, are really a subtle way of indicating to the community, to the people in the outside world, that you are autistic or you have a hidden disability of some kind, and that you may require some support or assistance going about your day-to-day life in the outside world, in the broader community. Clearly the goal is by wearing the wristband or the lanyard with those bright sunflowers, people will see that. They may initiate a conversation where they'll ask you, how can I help? How can I support? How can I assist you in this experience? Be that in a shop, transport, sporting environments, the outside world, libraries, whatever. It works anywhere. Now, of course, the argument would be, well, hang on. Why would you think anyone would have the slightest idea why you're wearing a sunflower? Now, this is a great point, but here's the thing. It opens up conversations. Okay, so if you're the parent of an autistic child and you're walking around wearing a sunflower wristband or a sunflower lanyard, people may go, what's that for? What's that about? That's good, right? Well, in fact, I or my son or my daughter are autistic, or I or my son or my daughter have a hidden disability. And as a result, we require certain supports and assistance in these types of environments, in these open, busy, noisy, public environments. So bringing the attention to people that you're wearing this to tell them, could you support me in this environment? Even if they don't know that, they may ask you, what's this about? You tell them, and then hopefully they're more open to supporting you in that environment. And I think it's fantastic for parents of autistic kids. It's a great way of not only embracing the hidden disability that your child has, but also a great way of embracing the advocacy role. And what's great about the hidden disability sunflower lanyards and sunflower wristbands is they're in no way specific or generalized, right? So you see the sunflowers and then you can tell the person, or the person can ask you, what specific support needs do you have in this environment? So you can actually get the assistance and support that is specific to you or your child in the environment you are going into. I mean, this is a game changer. Look, just search them in a search engine, find the hidden disabilities, the sunflower lanyard scheme, and check it out for yourself. Oh, and by the way, I have no commercial agreement with the organisation. I'm not making anything out of this. I'm just sharing with you because I think it's amazing and it can really help you and your family. That's all I get out of it. Now, in addition to the hidden disabilities sunflower lanyard and wristband scheme, there are many other ways autistic people can identify it. Something that is very popular is what can be referred to by some organisations as an ID card or an alert card. So a card that kind of alerts people that you are autistic. Therefore, it might not be visible that you have challenges, but you indeed do have certain challenges in the outside world. So let's talk about one of those cards. And this one is from Autism Spectrum Australia. I do a podcast called A Different Brilliant. I host it for Aspect, Autism Spectrum Australia, and you can check it out. They're on my website, on the Aspect website, and wherever you get your podcasts. The inspiration behind Aspect's Autism Alert Card came from, again, the UK, and the Autism Society, who have an I Am Autistic card. So just like the sunflower lanyard and wristbands, the Autism Alert Card clearly is there to alert people, to communicate to people that you are autistic and you have certain needs, certain support needs, certain challenges that would require assistance in certain environments. And what's great about the Aspect Autism Alert Card is it also includes general information on autism. Things that are important for people to know about, things like meltdowns, which can be taken as tantrums or someone manipulating, controlling a situation when indeed an autistic meltdown is an uncontrollable response to the environment around you. So some really great information in a general sense that can not only alert people within the community that you are autistic, but also can give them a bit of information that can actually help them provide you with the supports and assistance you require in that environment. It's fantastic. And the Aspect Autism Alert Card was really an autistic-led initiative made up by some fantastic autistic advocates working with Aspect. And look, I think it's probably most useful for adolescents, adults, though for younger children, it's probably a great thing to have as a parent of a child who's autistic, because when you think about it, if you have that card and someone maybe starts giving you odd looks or the judgment we get, which is horrible, you can take the card out, explain to them, look, I'm not going to apologise for my son being my son or my daughter being my daughter. They're autistic. Here's a bit of information for you. It'd be great if you could help us out in this experience and just make this environment a little bit more friendly for us. A couple of obvious ways the card would be helpful would be things like in shopping situations, in public transport situations, even in education situations. It's a great way of really just quickly getting some support or assistance, or even just providing some sort of clarity or context to someone you're interacting with. One that I think is really important: when autistic people come in contact with members of the police force or the criminal justice system, it can go bad real quick, and in no way at the fault of the autistic person. It's really a breakdown in not only awareness and understanding and education, but also a breakdown in communication between the two people, between, for example, say a police officer and an autistic person. For example, random breath tests. Police providing someone directions. There could be misunderstandings in those directions. A misunderstanding in what you're actually asking for or what you actually want from me, or what you're trying to tell me, or me taking it too literally, or me not actually understanding why you think that's important. So the card, the Aspect Autism Alert Card, can be handed or cited to a member of the police force, and they may hopefully have some level of understanding, some level of acceptance, some level of education to tweak the way they interact with an autistic person to still achieve the goal they need to achieve, but do it in a way that is actually tailored to the support needs and the assistance required by an autistic person in that environment. Because think about it, that can be a really stressful situation to be in. So when you're already stressed and already oversensitized, the last thing you need is misunderstandings that could lead to significant trouble. Now, if you'd like to learn more about the Aspect Autism Alert Card or order your free copy, well, go to their website, autismspectrum.org.au. Bottom line, as autistic people, we can often struggle to receive the understanding, the acceptance, and the assistances required to go about our day-to-day lives in the broader community, because our challenges can come across invisible or hidden. But to autistic people, these challenges can be debilitating in our day-to-day lives. So by being able to bring to the attention of the wider community that, hey, I'm autistic and I have some challenges, and it'd be amazing if you'd assist me in certain things so I can go about my day-to-day life and enjoy my life like anyone else, I think is super valuable, and I encourage you to check them out. And I also encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, ring the notifications bell, and please check out more of my videos. We'll talk soon.